Right, now this is a video of my settings that I use in the beach at North Wales in dry sand and wet sand, okay? So I'll turn on the machine now. Now these might change on your beaches wherever you go, depending on the mineralisation really, but I'll just go through my settings, what I use anyway, okay? Right, so when I'm on wet sand, I use beach 1, okay? Now just to run through the settings, noise cancel at first, ground balance. Now I always have it set on tracking ground balance up on wet sand, because the mineralisation changes that much. I find that running it on 0, sometimes it can make it a bit chirpy. So in the wet sand, I try and keep the tracking ground balance on. Again, it might change with your sand and your mineralisation you're running. Okay, so then the volume, I've just got the volume set at 25 because I've just been testing the machine. The threshold volume is standard at 0. I normally run that around 4. Keep your finger on it again, and it also puts you into the advanced settings. The threshold pitch is set at 4. But when I'm out in the field, I'll normally set it around 7, okay? Now, target tones, 5 tones, and the different segments of what it's running in on beach mode 1, okay? Accept and reject again. Anything below a 2 goes into the discrimination. Anything above a 2, I dig. Very fine jewellery, very fine gold necklaces and stuff tend to come in above 2 or 3, so it's always good. So you've always got the chance of hitting them sort of jewellery. Now the speed I keep at 6. The standard is 6. I keep it at 6. I've ran it at 4. I've done the tests, the depth tests, and there's no real difference between running the speed at 4 and running to the 6. I do seem to get a better tone on the idea, a better lock on the tone on running at speed 6, so I've kept it to speed 6. And the ferrous, the iron bias, I keep at 5. It's standard at 6, but I keep it at 5. Sometimes I drop it down to 4, but I mainly keep it at 5, just because there's a lot of trash around on the Wales beaches and stuff, and I just find I get a better signal, and it's a lot more stable running the iron bias on 5. Now that's on beach mode 1, that's in the wet sand. Now on beach mode 2, I run in the dry sand, yeah? I don't know why it works better for me on beach mode 2. A lot of people use it on beach mode 1, but beach mode 2 is a lower TX power because it's designed for in the water, underwater and scuba diving, when people go in the surf and stuff. So, but I do find beach mode 2 is better with the dry sand. Now the settings again, noise cancel, ground balance. In the dry sand I tend to keep it at 0. I don't really change very often onto the tracking ground balance unless it starts getting chirpy, and there's a lot of change when I manually ground balance. To manually ground balance, all you do, keep your finger on, pump the coil, and that manually ground balances. Now if you gain a lot of trouble with noise, and your detector's very chirpy, then you can either do a manual ground balance or put it on tracking, and it will track your ground balance, but I tend to keep it on 0. Volume again 25, just for the testing purposes. Threshold again is just set the volume at 0, and the pitch is set at 4 standard. Target tones again 5 tones, and just the different segments again are the segments that I use. Accept and reject is exactly the same. Anything below a 2 goes into the discrimination. Anything above a 2 I dig, again because of the very fine jewellery, and very fine rings can come in just above 2, 3, 4, 5. So you always want to try and get them targets. Now this is where everybody else changes again. Now the speed I use in dry sand, the speed is 4, and the ferrous is also 4. So the speed is 4, ferrous is 4. I've tried the different settings. At standard, the speed comes in at 6, just the same as what it did on the standard setting on the Beach One. So I drop them both down on 4. This way I found that again you get better signals, better lock on the ID, both set on 4. I have tried a lot of different settings. I've been in Wales now for quite a few weeks, learning this detector and getting used to the different settings of it. So I have tried quite a bit. Everything else is just the same really. The only thing I do say to you is once you've finished everything, just hit it once and do a noise cancel. Every time do a noise cancel. That's the most important thing you've got to do. Do the noise cancel, stabilise the machine. If you're having troubles with mineralisation, put your tracking ground balance on, or do a manual ground balance, and that should eliminate any sort of noise or spitting that you're getting back off the sand. Hope you enjoy the video. Happy digging, and I'll catch you all again soon.